From 2013 onwards, we worked regularly on a show for Sky 203 called The Chrissy B Show. And in the end, both Helena and I must have done over 160 shows for that Sky station. Helena still works for the station as a news anchor, and I've moved on now to the African community television programming. So here is one of probably our most famous and most interesting shows.
Welcome to my show. Now we have a lovely program for you today because we're going to be talking all things vintage, as you can see from my hairstyle. And I was going to say no.
I know you're going to say.
And not for my new.
Thank you ever so much.
I wasn't saying you were vintage, but anyway, since I looked over, we have Helena and Ian with us as well, who'll be doing the news.
Is that why I had to put white in my hair tonight?
Lovely. Thank you.
No way.
I'm so looking forward to the show today because we've got lots of things from the past and lovely things.
Terrific stuff.
All right, so vintage does seem to be in fashion, from the hairstyles and also the clothes and sometimes even the music. So what were the great things about the past, and especially the 40s, and what's best left in the past? We'll be speaking to Nick Lucas, and he's a collector of vintage items who's fascinated in particular by both World War eras. We also have vintage hair experts Ashley Palmer and Danielle Estenberger, I hope I said that right, from The Parlour, and they also styled my hair today. And we have the Belladonna Brigade, a 1940s style singing group, and they're going to discuss their music with us as well as give a performance of the track In the Mood at the end of the show. Exciting. And we also have Jane Rafter's fitness tip on men and stretches, and of course I'll be answering a question from one of the viewers at home. But first, let's go to the news.
Right, here we go.
Yeah.
So very excited, very moved as well, actually. The youngest ever person to receive the Nobel Peace Prize, Malala, I can never say her name correctly, her surname, Yousafzai, a political activist, only 17.
Wow.
Absolutely amazing. And she's got such an amazing story to tell.
Yeah.
And she actually started writing a blog for the BBC at the age of 11.
Wow.
And it was, you know, how it was like living under Taliban rule. It was to do with women and education. Unfortunately was shot 3 times in the head, managed to survive, and is now over here campaigning for children and absolutely amazing. But 17. But the funny thing is she's now actually studying at Edgbaston doing sciences, and she was given the thumbs up that she'd won the prize and couldn't believe it. But she went through her whole day at school, did all her lessons before she even sort of tried to find out about it. So she's a very grounded young lady.
Yeah.
Very successful as well. So
she's so eloquent. I mean, she had to speak to the United Nations recently, and she's so eloquent, you know, in the way that she actually sort of talks about things. And it's so important nowadays, and it's wonderful to actually watch young people enjoying education. So there's so many people who just want to sort of get out there and try and earn some money, but all her values are towards trying to educate herself, and then the next generation of young girls as well. So I think it's a really nice thing
I think, yeah, she deserves that.
She does.
She really does.
Really, really good.
And then we move from that one type of spirit to another.
I'll let you talk about this kind of spirit tonight.
Yes, I know. She sort of, if you notice Helena swaying tonight, no, she hasn't been with the Beckhams.
No.
The Beckhams have launched a new style of whiskey. And they launched it as part of their sort of wedding anniversary as well. And they did this launch of whiskey in Scotland. And normally, as you know, if you look at any photographs of Victoria Beckham, they're normally pretty staid. There's this almost like this sort of scowl on her face. That particular night, we presume that Victoria had actually sampled some of the nectar. and she's all over David, and there's this big smile on her face as well.
They were loving shots. They were loving shots. But it was a lovely smile. Yeah, she looks good when she smiles as well. But I think for me, they had the most amazing course of food. which was fantastic. And do you like scallops?
I love everything. Yes, I love scallops.
Amazing seafood food selection, which for me that's the most exciting thing. I'm not so keen on whiskies. I know it's one of those special things that people like.
No,
it's quite a male thing.
I don't drink anyway, so it doesn't interest
me.
Yeah,
it's a special thing. Do you like whiskies?
I don't. I don't drink.
I
actually don't drink. I don't drink either. So I just.
My gran used to love her whiskey. She used to sit there.
Really?
Her and my granddad used to sit there playing cards with their whiskey and their, bowl of nuts and stuff. Used to give me some. Used to give me whiskey when I was a child. They did.
Okay.
Yeah, they did. It's horrible.
Angelina Jolie. Will she be president? Will she not? I don't think so somehow. But I mean, I think her children will ask as well, and her children will absolutely, no way, Mum, you're not going to do it. But she is a great humanitarian worker, obviously, and I think she'd stay as she is, just campaigning.
Yeah, just doing.
doing bits and pieces. But she's also been given. Is it bestowed? The word Queen bestowed an honorary, a damehood. But although she's American, I don't think she can actually use dame. She has to have
actually use it.
The letters after her name, isn't she? DCMG after her name.
Yeah.
But good for her. So she was at the palace with her 6 children and Brad, of course, having a little tour, talking to Queen.
I actually disagree with how you think, because I know you think she's not. I really think she's going to go for presidency.
You think?
She's been saying it since 2009.
No, she's been doing.
Maybe she's been preparing.
Absolutely, because I mean, I've obviously got sort of a background in politics as well. British politics, high-end British politics, and number 10, and so I can see her doing things now that is the forerunner to sort of going to probably the first stage of becoming a senator. She's doing a lot of political talks right now, and she's doing more than you would normally expect from someone like that. And if you think about it, they are the golden couple. To actually, for the two of them to run for presidency, it'd be a shoo-in, in the way of the American history. You've only got to look at people like Ronald Reagan and how he actually sort of became, really, not the strongest B actor in this world to actually becoming president. And there was a series of steps, and I can actually see with Angela Jolie her doing very, very similar steps. And of course, I mean,
how do you quantify doing too much? Because she's really passionate about her.
She's passionate, but I think it's coming out more and more. This
maybe I don't want to. I don't want it.
But anyway, we agree to disagree on that one.
We disagree with lots of things, but hey ho.
You can argue on the show again. I love it when they argue.
And a bit of a fun one. Sarah Jessica Parker played the Good Samaritan. I mean, I would do this. I don't really know why it's a Good Samaritan. She found a $3,000 cheque on the floor in New York. And searched through Google to find out who the person was, and then gave them the check back. I mean, it's nice of her. I mean, why is she going to keep it anyway? But it's just a fun little story. Found the owner, whoever it was, and gave it back, and so that's that.
And as you know, we love school stories and love stories and marriages and all this type of thing as well. And Gwyneth Paltrow and her former partner, Chris Martin.
What now? What's going on?
There's a story going to break next week on your show.
Breaking news.
On Gwyneth Paltrow.
Okay.
But this week's story on Gwyneth Paltrow is that Chris Martin now has bought a house directly opposite her in Hollywood. So, is it off? Is it on? Is it? They use the word disengaged.
They need to have some counselling and just get back together.
Absolutely. They use the word disengaged. However, the next part of this trilogy on Gwyneth Paltrow next week, we then reveal what is apparently in her future.
Oh, but he is seeing Jennifer Lawrence. And I think Gwyneth Paltrow wants to meet her as well. But when you've got two, the thing is, when you've got two children involved, in a way, as a mother, I mean, I'm not a mother, but you would want to know who the other woman was, because obviously the children will have to be introduced. So it's sort of sensible. I know you don't believe
Well, I just don't believe anything really that's in the papers lately about them. So.
Absolutely.
You believe our news though, don't you?
I believe your news, but
thank you.
Yeah, you're quite spot on actually. I have to say, I do believe their news. Yeah. Because I know you're not vindictive.
Absolutely.
No,
And you're
all
not trying to put
good.
anyone down.
Can
You're
I
nice
tell-
to speak to.
Absolutely.
Can I tell my quick, funny royal story tonight?
Yes, Ian's
Yes.
got Ian
This
experience something fun.
I don't normally get jokes.
Okay, so
No,
this is
it's
not
not.
a joke. This is a true story.
Tell you.
A little quick rendition.
The other week I had to give a talk to the British Monarchist Society. And it was full of people like Angela Lansbury's of this world and Colonel Blitz, you know, and half of them were falling asleep. So anyway, I gave this wonderful lecture. Well, it was wonderful to me anyway because I was the only one listening. And then afterwards, I came back and I was on the train, and I was sort of dozing away because by this time, you know, as you can imagine, I was a bit befuddled. And this family of 4 came on the train, and it was a family of 3. And it was a mother and 2 children, obviously her son and daughter. And the son and daughter were about 8 or 9 years old. And they were right across from me, and they were saying, the boy said to the girl, he said, do you know the Queen? And the girl said, yeah, I know the Queen, I know the Queen. Do you really know the Queen? Yeah, I know the Queen. Do you know the Queen's got her own train? And the little girl said, yeah, I know the Queen's got her own train. Do you know the Queen's got her own plane? Yeah, I thought I knew that the Queen's got her own plane. Then he sort of leans over and said, do you know she's got her own pet duck? So the little girl said, no. She said, I didn't know she's got her own pet duck. She said, not only she's got her own pet duck, but she eats it every Christmas and she doesn't allow anyone else to eat it. Do you know what I was thinking? Isn't this sort of symbolic? It cheered me up, but isn't it symbolic of, you know, the types of stories that are spread about the Queen? Because we were talking recently about how China has been told that Charles and Camilla are divorcing. Where do these stories come from?
It's all over the magazine.
Well, we've run out of time.
Oh,
Well, thank you so much.
No problem.
See you very soon.
And we'll see you again next time.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you.